Hello beautiful, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So, as a minimalist, I tend to buy less stuff. And because I buy less stuff and have less stuff, my things get used more often. So these are some tips and tricks I have learned along the way to make the items I do have last longer so that I can enjoy them for longer. Let's get started. So number one on the list is buy quality items when you can. I understand that quality items tend to come with a quality price tag, but when you can and where it makes sense, buying things of a higher quality does usually mean that they will last a little bit longer. So with clothing, perhaps buying things of natural fibers or higher quality fibers rather than things made of polyester. Perhaps buying from better retailers that are known for making better quality items rather than items that are made by fast fashion retailers. Buying jewelry that is made of real semi-precious metals so that they are less likely to tarnish and degrade over time. So when it makes sense and when you can afford to, buying quality items is, I think, the easiest way to have your items last longer. And what's great is that if you do practice minimalism and minimalist buying habits, you're buying less items, so typically you do have more money to spend on buying higher quality items. Number two for my beauties who do shave is to dry off your razor after using it. So when you shave your razor blades, whether it's a safety razor or a cartridge razor, they get wet, and one of the most degrading principles to a sharp razor is water condensation, because these things cause the blade to dull faster, and in some instances they do cause the blade to rust. So what I did when I had a cartridge razor and what I do now that I have a safety razor is after I'm done shaving the shower, I just pat it dry with a washcloth and put it away. It takes maybe 6 or 7 seconds to do, and I find that my razors last, on average, double the amount of time that they used to. So not only are you making your razors last longer, which is a little bit more eco-friendly because then you're buying less of them, but it's also great for your wallet because you don't have to spend as much money on buying replacement razor heads. So it's kind of a win-win. Next on the list is in the realm of clothing, and that is with your denim jeans. So with denim jeans, what my mom always taught me is to turn them inside out, zip and button them before throwing them in the washing machine. And that is because when your jeans are rocking around in the washing machine, they can get torn up and cut up very minutely, but over time it does add up by the zipper kind of banging when it gets twisted, banging up on itself. And this actually can help your other clothes last longer too, because that zipper that's, degrading the jeans over time in the wash and in the dryer is also degrading your other clothes. So that's why you want to zip up and button. As far as turning them inside out, when you wash your jeans inside out, the richness of the color is more likely to stay prominent in the jeans for longer. So that is a great way to get your jeans to last longer, both in color and in style. The next one on the same vein of clothing is to wash your clothing in cool or cold water. Unless you are working a labor job or a very active, dirty, or grimy job, for the most part, your clothing isn't going to get dirty enough to where it merits the need for hot water to get them extra clean. And if you're washing your clothing in cool water, they are less likely to shrink, the colors are less likely to fade, and overall they will last a lot longer. The next one is also about clothing, but I promise it's the last one in regards to clothing. I didn't realize that I had 4 tips on clothing from this list, but here we go. And that is to buy a depiller for your clothes. So no matter how expensive or how high quality your clothing is, when there's friction from us walking, over time most clothing and most garments will get the little pillies on them. My dad called them paloogies, I don't know why, but the little pills on them. There is a machine that you can buy on Amazon, I think for under $15, and I'll link the one that I have down below, that you can very easily shave off those little pills. And not only does it make the garment last longer, but it makes it look nicer for longer. Because when you have those little pills on your clothes, regardless of how expensive the garment is, it does cheapen the look of the garment just a little bit. It does age the garment just a little bit. So if you can get those little pills or paloogies off, the garment is going to last longer and it's going to look nicer for longer. So I highly recommend this, especially with things like knit sweaters. And the last on the list is to take care of your shoes with shoe brush and conditioner, and or take your shoes to a cobbler when they need it. So this only applies to shoes that are made of leather, suede, or other natural materials. I don't believe that either of these tips will work with canvas shoes or sneakers. But if you have a really good pair of leather boots and you've left them for a year and then they get degraded because of the snow or the mud, you can save them. Whether it's at home, taking a brush to them, cleaning off that dirt, and conditioning them with a leather conditioner, making them look good as new, or taking them to a cobbler to have that process done for you. Leather boots, leather shoes, natural suede materials, flats, heels, etc., they can last a lot longer than I think the average person realizes, because they can be restored and taken care of every single year. Another thing with regards to the cobbler is you can get your shoes resoled. So if you have a pair of boots that you love and the sole is starting to get degraded, usually if they're made of leather or a natural material, the sole has been sewn on as opposed to glued on, which means you can take it to a cobbler and for a small fee get the sole switched out, and they look brand new and they behave like brand new boots. So not only does this save you money because you're not having to buy new shoes every other season, but you can keep the shoes that you love looking great for longer just by giving them simple maintenance, similarly to how you would maintenance a car or anything else like that in your life. So those are some tips and tricks I have learned along the way on how to make some of my items last longer. If you made it to the end of the video, you deserve a reward. I like to do fun facts at the end of my videos for anybody who has an amazing attention span. Congratulations, that's you. So your fun fact of the day is that the word Nimrod didn't used to have a negative connotation. If you want to know the origin of why the word switched from positive to negative, you can thank Bugs Bunny from Looney Tunes. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!